Now to major news from the campaign trail that is making national headlines. Just hours before voters cast their ballots in Pennsylvania's Democratic Senate candidate race, current Lieutenant Governor and candidate in this race, John Fetterman, is in the hospital and will stay there through at least tomorrow, election night. Yesterday, he announced that he went to the hospital Friday, where doctors told him he suffered a stroke caused by a blood clot from atrial fibrillation, or AFib. NBC 10's Rosemary Connors joins us live from the newsroom to tell us more about his prognosis. Rosemary?
Tracy, Fetterman says he feels much better and that according to his doctors, he did not suffer any cognitive damage. While many, including his opponents, are wishing him a speedy recovery, there are questions about what kind of impact this will have on the race tomorrow and why it took 2 days to notify the public.
Hey everybody, it's John and Giselle. As you can see, we hit a little bump on the campaign trail.
It was on Friday. I just wasn't feeling very well.
On Sunday, Democrat John Fetterman released this 16-second video briefly explaining how he ended up in the hospital.
So I decided, you know what, I need to get checked out, so I went to the hospital.
I made you get checked out. Because I was right, as always.
In a statement on Sunday from his Senate campaign, Fetterman said, "I ignored the signs and just kept going. On Friday, it finally caught up with me. I had a stroke that was caused by a clot from my heart being in AFib rhythm for too long."
AFib is an irregular heartbeat that arises in the upper chamber of your heart. The main problems with AFib, your heart rate could go either too fast or you could develop a blood clot.
Dr. Edward Laporta is the chief medical officer of Cardiology Consultants of Philadelphia. He has not treated John Fetterman, but has been a cardiologist for more than 3 decades.
What happens is this blood clot forms in the heart and it breaks off and could travel anywhere, to your brain, to your kidneys, to your arms. But in his case, it traveled to his brain. And what happens when it goes there, it impairs the blood supply to your brain. And when your brain doesn't get enough blood, you get a stroke.
Fetterman also said in his statement released Sunday, "The amazing doctors here were able to quickly and completely remove the clot, reversing the stroke. They got my heart under control as well." Dr. Laporta tells me once a blood clot is removed, blood supply to the brain is restored to normal.
I guess when your heart is that big and it carries so much love for his state, sometimes it asks for a rest.
In the wake of this, many are wondering why it took Fetterman 2 days to announce he was in the hospital and why the news came from his campaign and not the governor's office. What kinds of questions does this raise when it comes to communication, when the governor may have found out?
We don't know, and I think that's a very valid question. At the end of the day, John Fetterman's first job is Lieutenant Governor, number 2 in line. Political
analyst Jeff Jubileer doesn't believe Fetterman's health announcement will have an impact on the Pennsylvania primary for U.S. Senate, as it's too close to Election Day, and many have already voted by mail. But if he picks up the nomination Tuesday, come Wednesday, it's a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different ballgame. His health will be on the ballot, if you will, come November.
Yesterday, NBC 10 reached out to the Fetterman campaign to find out if and when he will release his medical records. We have not received an answer. This morning, I reached out to the governor's office to find out when the governor was informed about Fetterman's stroke, if there was any kind of transfer of power while Fetterman was receiving treatment, and who's in charge now of Fetterman's duties while he's still in the hospital. In response to my questions, the governor's office told me the governor was made aware on Friday that the lieutenant governor wasn't feeling well and sought medical attention. That's a direct quote. They did not answer any of my other questions. Live in the newsroom, I'm Rosemary Connors, NBC 10 News.